Okay, so let's have a look at another question from the 2022 HSC Advanced Maths paper. So this is question 13. We are told to use two applications of the trapezoidal rule to find an approximate value for this integral. Give your answer correct to 2 decimal places. So what it actually means when it says use two applications of the trapezoidal rule is evaluate this function at 0, 1 and 2, turn them into two trapeziums, find their areas, add them together. So what we need to do is we need to say x equals 0 is the start, x equals 1 is the x midpoint, x equals 2 is the end. We need to evaluate the function, the y, at each of these points. So the y value here will be the square root of 1 plus 0 squared, which is 1. The y value here will be the square root of 1 plus 1 squared, which will be the square root of 2. And the y value here will be the square root of 1 plus 2 squared, which will be the square root of 5. So we have the starting y value is 1, the middle y value is root 2, the ending y value is root 5, and we can draw a diagram showing this. So we start at x is 0, we go out to x is 1, we go to x is 2. At x is 0, the y coordinate is 1, so this function passes through this point. When x is 1, the y coordinate is root 2, which is about here, sort of halfway between 1 and 2. This is the root 2. And then when x is 2, we get y as root 5, which is a little bit more than 2. So that's going to be about here. So we don't need to know what this function looks like at all, but we can turn it into two trapeziums. So there's one here, there's one here. We need to find their areas, add them together, then round to 2 decimal places. So the area approximation is going to be the width of the first trapezium, which is 1 divided by 2 times the sum of the two side lengths. The first side length is 1, the second is root 2. So this is the area of the first trapezium. The area of the second trapezium is the width, which is 1 divided by 2 times the sum of the two side lengths, which is root 2 plus root 5. And now we can put this into the calculator all together. So we have 1/2 times 1 plus the square root of 2, 1 plus the square root of 2, and then we have to add to this 1/2 times the square root of 2, plus the square root of 5. I get, therefore the area is, this is not a therefore, this is not the last stage, this implies that the area is 3.03224 ... So therefore the area, the answer we want, is 3.03 to 2 decimal places, and this is the answer. Now we're not actually writing this as an area. Notice the question says find an approximate value for the integral. So this is positive. It is just positive 3.03 in this case. In terms of the marking, you will get a mark for evaluating the function at some of the points. So at 0, 1, 2, some combination of those, this is likely to get you the first mark. So finding these values, the values we found up here. The second mark, you're going to need to get the correct solution. So once you've evaluated the points initially, then you have to use them to turn these into trapeziums, evaluate their areas, and get 3.03.